What's up, We Move Stuff friends and followers? Anthony with We Move Stuff here, bringing you another episode of our blog. I'm super excited to be on here today to give you some more information about moving and the world of moving and how we can help you make your move go as smoothly as possible. Now, if you noticed on our title screen, the title of the blog went from Stuff You Need to Know to Pack and Go Moving Wisdom. The SEO gods, the internet gods tell us that it's a better title for people to find our blog, to find our website, and to hopefully inevitably hire us to service their move. So we're now going with Pack and Go Moving Wisdom. Works for me. So what we're going to be talking about today is the best time to schedule your move. Best time of year, best time of the week. There's so many things that go into this, and oftentimes I get calls from customers a week ahead of their move asking for moving service, and unfortunately we either have to turn them away or recommend another date, because when it comes to scheduling your move, it's actually a very, very important on making the process go smoothly. There's a lot of things that come into play when scheduling a move, but one thing I would say, first things first, is 30 days minimum. Reach out and start looking for moving companies 30 days minimum before your move. And if you can, once you get a closing date, if you are buying a home or you know you're going to move, reach out immediately. Make it your first call before you start looking up the new couch and everything like that. Start looking for moving companies. It's the best way you're going to potentially get your best rate and date you want for your move. Now, one of the things to consider when you're moving, if say you're looking at it from a budgetary perspective or trying to get kind of a better rate, is what season are you moving in? The peak moving season is from June to August. That's when moving companies are fully booked, full throttle, and just doing their most work. If you're looking to move during this season, I suggest 60 days in advance. If you have the option to kind of pick the season that you want to move, you're talking about a move a year in advance or something like that, you should shoot for fall or winter. That's when moving companies often lower their rates. Chances you'll get your best deal. We personally keep the same hourly rate for our moves throughout the year, but one of the things we do is we adjust our minimums and sometimes do moves at no minimum in the slower seasons. So that's something really important to factor in with your move. If you're doing, you're shopping around for budgetary reasons, look at fall and winter or any of the slow seasons, and absolutely avoid June through August, because that's when you're just going to get the highest rates and the highest minimums. Now, when we're talking about fall and winter, there is something else to take into account, and that's the weather. If you're planning to move in the winter, we move in all conditions as far as snow, rain, when it's hot, that's the peak season. We move when it's hot, as long as the conditions aren't severe. Severe conditions can bring on a host of different issues for your move. One of which being it can damage your furniture. We do blanket and wrap all furniture. Specifically, we put more focus on it if it's raining or snowing outside. But again, these conditions, if they're bad, can really affect your furniture. So check the weather and plan to be flexible if you're moving in these seasons. A week in advance if you're tracking a snowstorm and you can push your move a few days later, or maybe, if the moving company or we're available to push it up a few days earlier, go for it. And of course, we're always monitoring the weather as well. So we will try to reach out to you in advance if we see something like that, coming down the way. Now, as I said, plan to be flexible. I mean, we've got some storms here in New England that have, put people off the grid for a week. So definitely, if you're planning to move in winter, if you can, try your best to have a contingency plan, some flexibility to kind of change the date of your move. Peak days is another thing if you're shopping for budgetary reasons. Most moving companies, ourselves included, on Fridays and the weekends increase their rates. Additionally, some holidays you might not think of, like bank holidays, that maybe, it's not a federal holiday where everything's not closed down, but the banks are closed. Some moving companies do charge higher rates on those days. Here at We Move Stuff, $10 additional per hour. So it's not going to break the bank on your move, but it is going to change the rate and make it higher. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for us, and bank holidays. We do not operate on Sundays. Some moving companies do, and some moving companies actually charge even more for a Sunday. So again, if you're shopping for budgetary reasons and you have a specific budget, avoid the weekends, Fridays, and in the beginning of the month, and some of those bank holidays. Something else to think about is your own personal obligations. Oftentimes you get so wrapped up in the home buying process or the renting process that you may forget that, you have something you're supposed to go to, or, oftentimes one of the big ones is weddings, right? People schedule weddings and RSVP to weddings 6 months to a year in advance. Coming down, to the time when it's time to move, you might not be thinking that, so-and-so's wedding's this Saturday, and you've scheduled a move for that day. So check your calendar carefully. And something else I can recommend to really reduce the stress of a move and the moving process is if you do work in a job where seasonally the job is less stressful, less busy, times of the month or week when your job is less stressful or less busy, try to target those dates. Anything you can do to reduce the stress of your move from outside interactions is your best bet. And lastly, think about local holidays, fairs, parades, festivals that might be happening in town. I would say for our Connecticut folks, if you live in Durham and anywhere around Route 17, I don't think you want to schedule your move during the Durham Fair. Might not be a good idea. So again, check for those things that might not be on the calendar, might not be a holiday, might not give you the day off of school or work, but they're just, might be a parade going through town. Check for those things. Of course, here at We Move Stuff, we always try to do our best to highlight these issues and possibilities as we're, working with you as a customer, but definitely to pull the stress away from your move. Do your due diligence on your scheduling. Give yourself as much time as possible between the first day you call a mover and your move, and just kind of look at all the factors to do with the day you're picking and make sure that you have plans in place for any possible issues. Something else I will say, that's a little side note, try not to schedule your move on the same day as your closing or double closing. We ran into this a lot a couple of years ago when everybody was moving and the housing market was booming. People were scheduling the close on the house they were selling and the house they were buying all in the same day. Not a great idea. If you need a night for your stuff to stay in storage in order to kind of move out, get your closing done, and then move in, we can offer that service to you. And I think plenty of other moving companies do as well. But of course, we hope you come to us. So again, think about when your closing is and try to just eliminate any other responsibilities from your moving day other than the move itself. I think that's all I have for you today. Stick around, keep the lookout for our next blog post. We're going to be talking about packing tips and techniques, how to pack if you're packing for yourself, different packing services that we partner with that you might be able to get in touch with if you don't want to pack yourself, and some of the packing things that we offer as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this is helpful for you to move forward with your upcoming move. And as always, We Move Stuff is always here to help you. Check us out, www.wemovestuffct.com. Go to our Facebook and our Instagram and follow us there. I will post the links up in this video as I always do. And thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome day.